Hey, welcome everybody from Morton College. My name is Bernie Miller on behalf of the NAREP 10 and the Federal Savings Bank. We are so excited to present our panel today for your Women's Empowerment Month. I have some awesome, strong women and Latinas here at the Federal Savings Bank. And I think part of our theme is, man, it's hard. Is it hard for women? And it is hard for women sometimes to break into banking. We've been very fortunate here. I think we have a great culture for this, but we have some awesome women here who are helping families and doing really, really well. So the NAREP 10 helps kind of give us awareness on financial issues, awareness, things like that. For the Hispanic community, that's part of our cause here, right? So we're going to be talking about that awareness. We're going to be talking about getting the top 10% of your profession. All the women in this room are in the top 10% of their profession, which is super exciting. And then also living a great life, family, how you balance all that and still do well in your career. Okay, so I am going to first introduce my moderator, Jeanette Zaragoza. Jeanette helps me, along with Alondra, my assistant at Morton College, and other venues, briefing NAREP 10 educational stuff. Jeanette works in business development here with me at the bank, helps us develop talent, as well as some of our culture. She is going to moderate today. So ladies, I'm going to leave this in your hands. Jeanette, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Bernie, for that introduction. Everyone, thanks for joining us. This is going to be a phenomenal panel. We've got some chingona women here. I get to work alongside them. They're amazing. They're top producers, six-figure people here. Just great people to know all around. So like Bernie said, my name is Jeanette, and we're going to go round table, introduce ourselves. Tell us a little bit about how you got to TFSB and how your story and your life got you here.
My name is Maggie Martinez, and I've actually been with the Federal Savings Bank for a little over a year. I met the Federal Savings Bank through one of my colleagues. I was kind of pulled into the facilities. He was excited to show me what was happening at the Federal Savings Bank in a financial level. And then I had the pleasure to meet Bernie Miller, who is the EVP, who right away, of course, impacted me, engaged me, definitely had me motivated to do what I was doing already as a loan officer. But with a whole different energy, right? But while I was meeting with him, one of the questions that he had for me was, tell me something you know about the Federal Savings Bank. And in that conversation, my response to him was like, well, you know what? A few years back, I was at an orientation, a real estate orientation, and there's this lady that I met that created a huge impact in my life. I quite frankly, I'm not sure if you know her. I actually said that. I'm like, I don't know if you know her. She's so well polished, great posture. She walked in and she did about a 15-minute presentation. I'm like, her name is, I believe, Tammy Hajar. And he's like, oh yes, I do happen to know her. I'm like, yes, and you know what? I'm like, she was so impactful to me, and to this day, I still see her name on my personal email, and she's a loan officer, and I know she does great. So that's about one of the things that I know about the Federal Savings Bank. So if she's here, I'm sure this is a great place to be. And then she followed it with like, well, did you know that's my wife? I'm like, oh, I did not, but amazing. So he had me about 50%, and then when I connected the dots with that, it was kind of like I was sold.
Yeah. So that's a testament. He loves powerful women. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
So I met Bernie about 4 years ago. The way that I came across TFSB was through a college friend. After we went to a convention in Harvard, I was just recently graduated from DePaul. I was 22. I was looking to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And so she recommended me the bank. And so then I sat down, met with Bernie, and very similar to Maggie's story, it was like, well, what do you want to do in life? What is your end goal? And I said, I don't really know what I want to do right now, but I do know that wherever I work and wherever I establish my career, I don't want to have any caps. I don't want to have a roof. Mm-hmm. And so if this is a place that can offer me that exactly, then, I know that I have so much potential to get wherever I want to get. And all I need is a little bit of support. So, Bernie is exactly that, and everyone at the bank. And so that's how I got here.
Awesome. How about you?
Yeah, so I'm Magaly Alonzo, and my story is a little bit similar to the ladies, but it's so funny how it happened because my husband actually was looking for a loan, right? He was looking for a mortgage loan, and it happened that at the time there was a loan officer that was helping him out with the loan, was looking for an assistant. So I went through the process. It was like a 3-week interview, and I was like, holy cow, like this is the longest interview ever, right? And so I went for it. It was an assistant job, making cheesy gifts. I was like, this is piece of cake. It's super easy, right? Nothing of knowing anything about mortgages, absolutely anything like that. And then I mastered that position, and then I wanted more, and I wanted to be challenged. And then fast forward, I was offered the position as an onboarding coordinator, and also the opportunity to build the business at the same time. So I went ahead and I was like, I could do this. And with the guidance of Bernie, amazing leader, coaching, I did the coaching classes. I went ahead and put myself out there, and I'm still in it to win it.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that the commonality between us is like we all wanted more, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's, like you said it best, like you wanted somewhere that wasn't a ceiling. So this is great, that you guys are at a place that it's like, boom, let's go, sky's the limit, right? So you being the youngest, Ada, I want to ask you this question. What do you think, what do you know now that you wish you knew at the start of your career?
That's a great question. I think that starting in this business so young and not really knowing much about mortgages at all, aside from what a mortgage is, one of the things I wish I knew was that you didn't need all these years of experience to build a team. I think that I started in the business thinking that, it would take you these many years to build a team and actually have people supporting you along the way. And I think that has really impacted me now, is having and building my team to get farther in life, and not just in life, but in the workforce and in the profession where we work. So I wish that I would tell myself, it's not gonna take you 10 years to build a team, right? Because I got my first team member within the first year of my career. And so that was amazing. And so just seeing that support, I wish I knew in the beginning.
That's awesome. Having that like faith in yourself, right?
Exactly.
So that's awesome. How about you, Maggie?
You know what? I think that one of the biggest learning experiences that I've had is just learning how to say no, right? Learning how to say no to the things that hold you back, right? Not only in a professional level, but also in a personal level, right? Especially as, I think this happens to everyone, but as women, as a mother, there's a lot of things that at times hold you down, and not feeling guilty to be able to say no to people or circumstances, it's very empowering. And in the beginning, you kind of go into new projects thinking that you have to kind of be like a yes person, where you have to be like, yes, I'll do that, yes, I'll take that, and oh yes, I'll do anything for your business. And only with maturity, right? And luckily I learned it quickly, because I have a great spirit. But I think that I'm glad that I learned it quickly, but I wish I would have believed it sooner. Right?
Yeah. Setting those boundaries, I think, go
boundaries.
a long way for yourself and for your business, right? Eventually. Yeah. And protecting your family as well. So that's
yourself.
Awesome. Yeah. Yourself. Yeah, that's true. How about you, Magaly?
Oh my goodness. I would say, why didn't anyone tell me that we were gonna have to visit our hairstylist or hairdresser like very often, right? It's insane, but no, I'll joke to the side, and I would say go with your gut, like going with your gut, right? Knowing that feeling and kind of just going with it. But most importantly, kind of piggybacking with what Maggie said, accepting that not always it's a yes, right? And it's something that I'm still, as a woman in a business, learning and coping with it, right? But the good thing is that you have other women in your sphere of influence. You have that support from all those women that been through that, and they're also being those leaders and showing and guiding you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
I know we touched about this a little bit earlier, but what corporate characteristics would you say are important in a company when empowering women? And can you give me an example?
I would say it's very important to have a role model. Women are deeply influenced by role models, so you have to make sure you're one. Making sure that you're empowered by kindness. Powered by kindness and strength, and encourage women to go and get their aspirations and make those into reality. And having that influence or circle of women that support you. They're on the sideline, not only making their goals true, but then cheering you on as well.
Awesome. How about you, Maggie?
Oh, that's a really good one. I think that one of the things that I look for is to having a platform where we can have our voices heard, and not only having a platform where we can have our voices heard, but also a corporation that encourages for the audience to be diversified, right? And a good example of that is recently, right? We had Women International Day, and it's very common to see the celebrations or the events around this day. It's always women. It's a woman in the panel, and then there's women as the audience. So I think that having a corporation where encourage that yes, you have that panelist as a female, but making sure that the audience is diversified, right? That you have male and females acknowledging that male role model, right? Not only female. I think that's what will level the playing field a little bit. And I would definitely have to agree with Magaly. I think having role models and being role models for ourselves. It's been proven that in a workplace, sometimes our biggest challenge is us women, right? We tend to hold each other back. When we were little girls, we were always told to level the playing field again. And when we're in a corporation and we see maybe somebody's doing something great, there's like a little sabotage game or like the gossip. And I think having a corporation that has activities or promotes kindness and acceptance and the ability of us accepting when one of us is doing great, and when one's doing great also to help the other one,
right, to extend the
hand out.
Yeah.
So I think all of that to me would be important, and it's important.
I love what you said about inviting men to also empower women, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of us are women on women. Like I cheer you on. You guys know you guys have all my support, and it's been that way vice versa, right? But it's so much different. It's so much more refreshing when you also get a male that's also on your team and supporting for. Or advocating for empowering women. So.
Yeah.
What about you, Anna?
Yeah.
I cannot agree more with both Magaly and Maggie. I mean, I think the diversity behind the support in women is super, super important. I would say one of the biggest things that has influenced me has been the coaching program here at our bank. And so who leads that? Bernie does, right? A male EVP is the one that's head of this coaching program that not only pushes you, but also keeps you accountable for what you're doing day to day, what your struggles are, what are, the celebration of your successes and all of that. I think is super important. I had never worked at a place where they had this much support and just coaching overall in general. I think it's huge, especially for women that, come from different backgrounds, right? I mean, I was completely new to the corporate world. I did a lot of smaller agencies at the previous jobs where I was at. So coming to corporate is always intimidating, especially real estate, where it's a male dominated industry to some extent. And there's just so many women, and to see other powerful Latinas like Maggie and Magaly that are moms and are wives and can balance everything out is super encouraging for other women like myself that don't have kids. I'm not married or anything like that. So I think that coaching behind that is super important and powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Okay, now we're gonna get to the fun part. All of this has been fun, but I want to know, what is the biggest risk that you've taken, and what happened? What happened when you did that? Am I happy?
Oh my goodness. Oh, talk about risk, gets me nervous. So I would say making the transition to becoming the loan officer full time. And it scared the bejesus out of me, because it's saying bye to my salary and now being full commission based, right? So that definitely was something that it was a fear for me. Yeah, but looking at now, from then, it's like, why was I even thinking that? Why did I allow that fear, Yeah. But it sometimes happens, and we have to be able to kind of just control that and just go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you got over it.
Yeah.
What about you, Anna?
Well, exactly what Magaly said, except for me, it was when I decided to go full-time banker was the day that Chicago shut down because of the pandemic last year. And so that to me has been the biggest risk I've taken because I not only said goodbye to my salary, but I said it during a known time, right? We didn't know what was going to happen with the market. We didn't know what was going to happen with our industry, but I felt so prepared and I felt the support of my coaching so much that I said, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take the risk because I feel prepared for it and I know that everything's going to work out somehow. And so that to me was the biggest risk that I took last year.
And what happened?
And we crushed it. We crushed it.
Phenomenal. I love it.
Yeah.
What about you, Maggie?
Well, you know what? I think that when it comes to work, I've always been kind of like a risk taker, a head-on, like, I can do it. My biggest, the biggest decision that I took, and it was also this year, and to me it was it was risk, is actually hiring help, but at home. Right? I came to the point where everybody knows, no secret, right? This year, mortgages, we were crazy busy. I was blessed to have the benefit of being able to help a lot of families. And there was a point in time when we were all working from home, and I'm sitting there at home, taking phone calls, kind of like this, like, to my kid, and like trying to like log in, and it got to me, it came to a point where I'm like, you know what, I don't know that I'm doing this the right way, right? Like, and then there's a fear, right? I'm like, and that somewhat of a guilt, like, what can I do to give my best to my family, and then give my best to my role and my career. And it just dawned on me, right? Like, if I'm so comfortable hiring help at work, why wouldn't I hire help at home? And, for me as a Latina, and the way I was raised, and within the possibilities that I was raised, it was not something that it was even I would never imagine to have somebody to be there to take my kids and, clean my house and do my laundry. But I did it. And it's been the best thing I could have done for myself, my family, my kids. I mean, my husband has warm meals every day. He's happy. I'm happy. We're all happy.
That's what matters.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
We're all happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love to hear it. I think a common denominator is obviously having that faith, that trust, right? You trusted yourself to make the right decision, or you trusted somebody else to take care of home while you handled business. And it doesn't mean that you're not coming home and spending time, but that balances things out, right? And I think for you ladies, it was taking that risk in yourself and like, I can do this, and knowing that you have that support on the back end, and then knowing you have your own back, I think is most important, right? So going off of that conversation, Maggie, one of the things that I see a lot for women is sometimes, and my own mother has told me this, that you can't do it all. You can't have it all, right? Yeah. So what do you tell people that tell you can't have it all as a mom, as a career woman, as a wife? What do you think that looks like, Maggie?
I think it's just a mindset, right? I think it's getting rid of that mother guilt. I think that's the big thing, right? That you feel that you can be great at one thing, or you have to like let go of one thing to do the other. Going back to what the change that I just made at home, I think my kids get the best of me now, right? Because I come home and they're taken care of, my house is taken care of, and I get to come home and just exclusively be there for them and spend time with them. And yeah, we still get to do the house chores, and we still get to do some of that stuff together. But it gives us more quality time, and then it takes away some of that pressure off of me to be able to focus my time at work, and then crush it at work. And to be honest with you, I don't think that it's a matter of choosing one or the other. I think that I owe it to my children to find myself, to be the best person I can be, and be that role model to them, right? And I think that me evolving and reaching for my dreams, it's only gonna set the tone for them. right? And it's only going to help them get inspired and help them do great in their lives and in whatever they want to achieve. So to me, it's just a mindset. My kids have never held me back. If anything, they push me forward. So
That's great.
I think for me, it would be learning how to balance your life, right? I think you can have it all, but it's just how you balance your time and how you go about your day to day that will allow you to do everything you want, right? Not just be a mother, not just be a wife, but a sister and a daughter and a friend. Remind yourself that you have time not only for them, but for yourself as well. And like Maggie mentioned earlier, learning how to say no to some things, right? And protecting your time, because you are your biggest time protector. So I think learning how to balance and find that within yourself and within your time is gonna make a huge impact and influence how much you can get done during the day.
Yeah, I agree. Time is something we can never get back. So choose wisely, right? Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely. I would say find your why. Find your why. My why is my children, my daughter, my son, my husband, right, my family. And not only that, but like there's people out there, individuals that you're always gonna hear those comments. Oh, you're not good enough, or you can't do it, or you know what, just grab all those negative comments and use them as fuel to get you through every single obstacle that comes across, because there will be obstacles. You just got to keep pushing yourself and keep going and just find that why at the end, right? I always say you can have your cake and eat it too, in all flavors.
I love that. That's so great. Awesome. You guys, thank you so much for being here with us today. It's been so insightful. Obviously, we work together, and I see you guys come in and crush it every day. It's so inspiring. From mujer a mujer, I want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for keeping on, encouraging, extending that hand, and bringing women with you. So phenomenal to sit here with you guys and just learn about you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.